Welcome back to the Journey to the FarLands. All right. Well, let's see here. Have I got everything? And then some. All righty. Bust out of here. Make sure the coast is clear. Well, I guess it will be in a moment. I love the smell of burning skeletons in the morning. All right, let's see. Okay, get to go that way, so we'll start out with a boat right off the get-go. All right. In any event, here we are this morning, this in-game morning that is, the 364th day since leaving spawn. And the size of the world has grown to 4,374.12 megabytes. And we continue onward, journeying to the FarLands, the fabled FarLands of Minecraft, where terrain generation goes crazy and gets really wild and weird. And what do we have here? A lone block of dirt with grass on it. No, excuse me. That's like 5 blocks of dirt with 1 bit of grass. You win the prize for the smallest island. Yeah. At least the smallest one I think I've seen in quite a while. Oh boy. So here we go, moving onward. Having fun with the weather of late. A lot more thunderstorms in the last couple of days. Twice I woke up to check the weather information page to find out that not only was there a really kind of a loud thunderstorm going on because the main cell was like right over my house, but that there was also a tornado watch in effect. Okay, this one gets to be even smaller. How about that? All right. Yeah, that's always fun. You wake up in the middle of the night and it's like you woke up because you heard this loud boom that actually shook the house. And by the time after you wake up a little bit enough to actually realize what's going on, you know, it's this huge thunderstorm. And check the weather radar page, and there's this big thunderstorm line, and all the angry orange and reds are like, if you could see them in the sky, they'd be right over the house. You know, if the sky could somehow be painted to reflect what the radar image shows, all those angry reds and oranges. Oh, come on. Come on. All right. All those angry reds and oranges would have been right straight up. It was pretty wicked. No tornadoes or anything like that actually came anywhere near. But from what I saw on the weather radar, there actually was one about 60 or 70 miles southwest of me. Although I don't think it actually touched down because I didn't hear any reports of the unpleasantries that generally follows a tornado touchdown. Let's see. I should think about logs, but mostly I just want to grab some wool right now. Wool gathering. With a right click, not a left. You don't have to beat him to death with the shears, you just need to clip the wool. Yes. In other news, just continuing on with various and sundry things, having occasional internet derpages where the internet just kind of balls itself up and turns into a ball of snot. At least that's what it seems like, the way it gets super duper slow sometimes. And I know a couple of times in the last week, that's gotten so bad I couldn't even hardly log on to Hermitcraft, never mind actually do anything. And that's kind of really frustrating because Hermitcraft is getting the best views and viewer response and whatnot of anything else that I'm doing. And, you know, it kind of only makes sense to make as much of that as I can. And it's frustrating when there are times when, no matter how much you want to, or even have plans, that you can't. Oh boy. Do I go over or around? I think I go around. At least to the extent that it can. It's just going to have to be a little farther around. Shut up, pig. Oy. The nerve of those guys. All the grunting. Anyway. So, stuff and things going on. And getting some good progress in on the TFC Modcraft series. I'm hopeful to have another episode of that uploading sometime in the next, well, let's see. It's a little bit after 11 p.m. on the 20th as I record this, so I'm hopeful to have an episode of TFC Modcraft uploading sometime after this episode completes upload. So that's my plan there. Get to automating some more stuff and moving a little bit closer to the point of being able to do the thing that I really want to do in that series. A thing that really needs to happen. And I'm thinking it's going to be good and entertaining, but there is a whole lot of stuff to do ahead of that to get ready to be able to do it. And I'm trying to talk about it without actually saying what that thing is, because that would be a spoiler. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if at least some people were to suggest that I try something else instead. But I don't want to. This is another reason I'm not saying what it is. How about that? Whack a chicken with a shovel. Not because I need the feathers or anything else, just because I hate chickens. Yeah. Hey, after you've been pushed into lava by a chicken so many times, you start to hate them too. Now this would be a good launching point for an elytra. To launch from here and fly at least over to that shore over there. As it is, I think I'm going to end up using a boat. Because it's a climb to get up over there. And I'm using the wrong key to access inventory. And I'm going to be doing the overnight thing as soon as I get there. Because I don't care to spend the overnight out here on the water in the boat. Hey, there's a good spot too. Flat with not too awfully much going on around it. Right here. All right. And turn this around, pop that down here. Alrighty. Well, there we go. And onward. Yeah. Now, I got to looking a while back at how many different series I had going concurrently. And that's when I figured out that I really need to get myself to a point where I can bring at least 2 of them to a close, because there's just too much going on. I never intended to get overloaded like that, but I managed it. And part of a big chunk of the overload is the fact that when I took stock of, and by taking stock, I mean actually writing down each series and its current status, I realized that I had 3 modded Minecraft series going. And that's too many. Because modded Minecraft in any version can get complicated enough and involved enough that it can be hard enough to keep things straight when you're just doing the one. When you're doing 3, it's like, okay, I was doing such and such in which series? And I need to use what machines in this series to do that? Yeah. It's so much easier when you've only got one going on. So that's why I've been focusing on TFC Modcraft so much, because it's the one that's closest to its completion, I think, to a point where it can be called finished. And once I get that one done, I will be cracking on with the FTB Insanity map. And get some conclusionary action going on there. At least that one has a set completion. You know, once you finish all of the map objectives, you're done. And, you know, it's up to you how you achieve that, how long you take to do it and whatnot. And I don't want to rush things any and kind of cheapen it or anything like that. But I do want to kind of expedite matters a little bit. Because once those 2 are done, the only modded Minecraft series I will have going will be the 1.7.10 version of the Direwolf 20 mod pack, which is the one he used in his Season 7. And I'm really looking forward to getting back into that one. When I reached the point where I realized I needed to just focus on one thing at a time and get things moving, I had in that one series just nicely reached the point where things were going to start getting a lot easier in some ways. And I'll get there. And I'll do it without cheaping out the others. I don't want to cheapen the others at all. I want to get full value out of them, but I'd like to do so in a timely fashion, which is why I decided, you know, let's just focus on one at a time and put all of your energy into getting that done. Well, all of your modded Minecraft energy into getting that one thing completed. And then once it's complete, get the other one complete, and then you can focus on this last one, which will probably, I anticipate the one with the Direwolf 20 pack to be a reasonably long running series, which is another reason to focus on completing the others. This I haven't had a good long running modded series in a while. Technically TFC Modcraft is long running, but only in terms of calendar. I mean, it had a long time where I didn't do anything with it. And I had actually managed to sort of kind of forget about it. Which is weird, but true. Alright, let's get some boats made up here. Okay, come on. Come on. Get off the ice. There we go. All right. Moving forward. I don't know, with the time taken to make boats and get this thing moving, I might have been better off to just swim across and walk around the shore. I don't know. I feel kind of rambly today. You ever have days like that where no matter what you do and try to keep focused, you ramble and bash your boat into a outcropping of ice and sink? And of course, in trying to focus so much on getting things done and these other things, I do seem to be occasionally reaching a point of falling behind, well, at least in my mind, falling behind on this series, which is also not good. So, yeah. Hey, another one. Good. I probably don't even need them at this point. Yeah, I'm probably good on sheep. But we'll take this one anyway, since it's right there. Alrighty. Well, let's see. I wonder what all interesting is going on in the world these days. Of course, asking that question makes me ask myself, why did you do that? Because while I sometimes do get mildly curiositized, or whatever, about what's going on in the world, every time I ask that question, I end up hearing answers that make me wonder why I bothered to ask, because I didn't want to know that. Either that, or it's either a case of I didn't want to know, or I can't actually be bothered to care. Oh. Oh boy, no thank you. Walking away from that. It's like once in a while I get a little bit of morbid curiosity, and I do mean morbid. And I'll start looking up news sites and see what the news is yakking about. And after about 5 minutes of sort of browsing the major headlines, I end up closing the page, shaking my head, going, why did you waste your time doing that? I don't know. It's terrible. The things you find yourself wasting your time at when you feel like you should, just simply because, you know, staying informed about what the major things are going on, and you look at the headlines and you go, why? Why did I bother wasting my time doing this? I could have been doing something useful like pounding sand down a rat hole. You know? It's, you know, that sort of thing. But in spite of everything, there is the movement forward and the inevitable setting of the sun to the gentle, peaceful strains of C418's music in Minecraft. Definitely a relaxing scene, if ever there was one. Oh boy. I am almost afraid to think of what I'm going to sound like when I go take this into the video editor to put it together. Yeah. But there you go. Kind of feeling just a little bit, about pretty much everything right now. There is, and part of it is there's just so many things I want to be doing all at the same time. And here's another little tidbit. Another reason that I want to bring certain series to conclusion is that with all the other things that I've got going on, and having recently started doing Creativerse, even though I know doggone well I should not have done so, but I couldn't hardly resist it. And in spite of all of that, oh, hold that thought. Yeah, now that looks like a thumbnail. Yeah. But in spite of all of that stuff, there is 2 other series that currently, when I have inspiration and time at the same instant, I've been doing some pre-recording. I'm not going to say what they are because episode 1 of each is sitting on my hard drive, and it hasn't gone anywhere near YouTube, and it probably won't for some time yet. But I'm going to have a whole bunch of both of these things pre-recorded well ahead of time, and that's going to be good. And I don't know how long I'm going to let the pre-recording go ahead, how far ahead I'm going to go. Because I think, in one way, the more I can pre-record, the better. Because that gives me something that I can use as an easy upload. You know, like you have one of those days where either circumstances conspire to prevent you from getting something else recorded that you would ordinarily do, or you just, you get stuck and you need something to upload, and you look into your backlog of things that have been pre-recorded ahead of time, and you think, hey, I've got 42 episodes of such and such here, I'll upload one of those. I've never been one to be in that kind of a position, but I'm working on it. And that will be true with at least one series, possibly with another one. I don't know yet. I am feeling kind of rambly. Part of it is it's been a while since there's been any questions or comments of the kind that need to be responded to in a video or something like that. Not really. And I always love it when there are things like that, because it makes it easier to know where to go in one's conversation when one is walking through Minecraft and needing to keep up conversational talk and whatnot just to fill the audio portion of things. Because in spite of the fact that I know there are people who have said that they would, in fact, watch such a series, at least occasionally, even if no speakage was involved, I can't imagine that, honestly. You know, something like this needs to have, you know, some kind of running commentary, because without that, it just seems kind of empty. I mean, seriously, would you actually watch somebody walking in Minecraft for 35 or 40 minutes per episode and not saying a word? I can't imagine that. And frankly, I can't imagine doing that. Because here's a thing that I have found to be true. When you get to the point where you're in the habit of recording game video, making videos in games and whatnot, and keeping up the commentary throughout episodes and so on, trying to make it interesting or explanatory, and ideally both. It's a little thing that happens after a while. I can't honestly say whether this happens to everybody, but I've certainly noticed it to be true. And that is, fun fact, I have figured out, actually quite some time ago, that even if I'm not recording, even if I'm just playing a game for my own personal entertainment and nothing else, with no intention at all to record, I catch myself doing it. I still maintain the running commentary as I'm playing. I'm talking about what the same things I'd be talking about if I was not recording. I mean, if I was recording the thing. It's, you know, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how this or that mechanic works, and plans for things that I want to do some point later on, and so on. I keep up this running conversation. I can't play a game without keeping up that running conversation, that running commentary. And I'm sure that anybody walking into the room, seeing and hearing me do that, would think, this guy is some kind of weird. No, he's just a YouTuber. And I would be willing to bet that I am not the only person that does such things by a long ways. That there are plenty of other YouTubers that, even if they don't voice the commentary out loud, that when they are playing a game, there is still the running inner commentary that one becomes habituated to, getting into the habit of doing when recording video gameplay. You get to the point where that commentary is always there. Even if you choose not to voice it, you know, I live alone. I don't care. And even if I didn't live alone, I still wouldn't care. You know, I do what I do. But yeah, that's a thing. And I'm actually going to have to find out sometime. Because I don't think, I find it hard to believe that I could be the only person afflicted with that situation. Not that it's really that much of an affliction. I mean, it's true. Every once in a while, I'm sitting here alone in my house in the middle of the night, playing a game because I want to, not because I'm recording it or anything like that, and I'm maintaining the commentary. And it just every once in a while I realize that I'm doing that, and oh boy, this is the third day. I need to find a hidey hole. I'll realize I'm doing that, and I just kind of like laugh and shake my head. Why are you doing this? Nobody's ever going to see this. But there you have it. It happens. Okay, speaking of happening, let's make this hidey hole happen, because it's already getting dark. Now, one more. And let's put a blockage here. And clear this out. Oh boy. Okay, more boats, more beds. Well, that was special. I really don't need any slabs. Oh boy. I guess maybe it's a good thing that I'm reaching end of episode, because I am derpalizing really bad here. All right. Before I go and craft something else that I do not need, I will say thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.